Imagine being a YouTuber with over 55 million subscribers across 5 channels, starring in your own movie, and creating incredible generational wealth for your family for all time. Now imagine that same YouTuber being 13 years old. This is the life of Ryan Kaji, the face of Ryan's world. But despite all your success, you're restless. You wonder if you've aged out of your own content. Perhaps you want to do something different, and you keep hearing about what other people think you should do. Despite your fame, you still go to school, and you enter the office of your school counselor for some help. And as a school counselor, how would I tell one of the biggest YouTubers in the world what to do with their future? Let's find out. It's guidance time.
So, the million-dollar question is Rand's Toys Review, is he a slave? Let's have a wee look at this.
Given the increasing scrutiny that his channel is getting and all the outside noise that comes with it, Ryan can be coming in feeling confused, frustrated, angry even, at the fact that his life is going this way. He may also feel lost, not sure what to do next, and even alone, because who else has lived this life? Regardless, my first job is to make him feel welcome. This isn't a TV interview with his parents right next to him. He has the space to say what he wants and how he feels about everything. I let him know that as long as he doesn't say anything that might endanger himself or others, it all stays in this room. The focus will be on him, not his parents, not on what other people are saying, but only on Ryan Kaji. I want to give Ryan control, a concept that perhaps he's not familiar with, and that's understandable. When you've been living in the public eye since you were a toddler, the only control you might see is the kind that others have over you.
Where's 10? Good boy. And how old are you? 3.
At this point, Ryan might tell me about his YouTube journey, that he's been in the content creation game ever since he was 3. He knows he has the dream job of most people his age, but he might say that all comes at a price. With the millions of subs that Ryan has, he's created an unbelievable amount of parasocial relationships, which are one-way connections that the fans of a creator, actor, or other public figure have with their fan base. For Ryan, he doesn't know anything about his followers, but they know a lot about him. They know his favorite things, the different houses he's lived in, the journey he's been on as a creator. For the past 10 years, Ryan has not lived a normal life, making thousands of videos in the last decade on a weekly basis. He stops for a moment, and after a pause, he says something he's been thinking for years but has never said out loud. My whole life is content. Ryan does review videos, yes, but part of his brand is also as a family channel. So there's an upload whenever he moves to a new house, when a family friend gets married. Shoot, even the birth of his twin sisters gets turned into a vehicle for views. Ryan might bring up a time that he tried talking to a friend who's not a creator about this, and he told him, bro, just take a vacation. Ryan sighs. He recalls telling his friend that he does do that, but even those moments meant as a break from the grind get transformed into videos. And that's on top of still going to school, doing red carpet events and interviews. I would validate his experience and his feelings. Most people looking on the outside just see the glitz and the glamour and think that he has no right to complain. But despite the money and the fame, Ryan is still a person, and he might even struggle with guilt about that. He knows most people would want his life, but he's not sure if he wants it, at least in its current form. So I ask him, how do you feel about being a creator? Do you still have the passion for it? I'd listen as he tells me his answer. Maybe he's mentally moved on from being the toy kid and wants to branch out into something else, or maybe even leave content creation and do something else entirely. But he might feel trapped, because every aspect of his life has been turned into fodder for the YouTube algorithm.
Hey Ryan, I've got Audie the Otter. He's inviting you to his birthday.
Whoa, it's his birthday.
It's here that Ryan explains what brought him to my office in the first place. He feels he has anxiety and might be depressed. Living most of his life under the lens of a camera has taken away any sense of privacy he feels he should have, he tells me. He feels anxious, he says, because he feels stuck in this loop of living his life for views, likes, subs, and money. He wants to do something else, be someone else, but he has no idea what. And the looming despair comes in because he doesn't see a way out. And I can see his anguish. One doesn't become one of the top creators on YouTube by accident. Ryan knows how to win at the YouTube game, but maybe he wants to win in another way, maybe away from the camera, taking on a challenge that doesn't require the Ryan's World persona he's been carrying his entire life. But he knows that he has responsibilities to his parents who run the channel, to his family to keep bringing in the cash, to his fans who expect him to play the role that they know him best for. He doesn't want to disappoint or fail anybody, but he also knows that by staying on this path, he's ultimately failing himself. And that sense of letting himself down and not being able to live his life has made him enjoy his life less. He's not just sad, he's having trouble sleeping. His favorite hobby, gaming, doesn't bring him joy like it used to. He's moody and will sometimes snap at people for little things and then regret it later. And he's also finding himself wanting to cry just out of nowhere. This is what depression looks like. A nagging feeling of unhappiness that doesn't go away. And that constant worry, Ryan goes more into that. Always feeling like something bad is going to happen. Constantly worrying about his future and being stuck doing Ryan's world forever. I can see he's struggling with anxiety as well. It's more than simply worrying. It's an obsessive worry that always comes back and may not even come from anything specific. Ryan tells me he's been researching others like him, kids who have lived in the spotlight. Jeanette McCurdy from iCarly, Disney Channel's Demi Lovato, and megastars like Britney Spears and Michael Jackson. He sees himself in them, but doesn't want to end up like them. I ask him what he means by that, and he says he doesn't want to get child star syndrome. He doesn't want to end up getting hooked on substances or losing his mind or even losing his life. It's here I tell Ryan that I understand his concerns, that he should want to live a fulfilling life, free from the troubles that other child stars faced. I do tell him though that child star syndrome isn't real, that rather a title that the internet came up with to explain the trend of kids who cashed in early in life only to crash out later on. The real issue he's at risk of is PTSD, or post-traumatic stress disorder. Though most people outside this room would give the side eye of the idea of being rich and famous as being traumatic, I explain it to him this way. It's not being rich and famous that's traumatic, it's the price of it that is. The long hours of putting a video together, the times you couldn't play with your friends because you had to finish a video, all the cruises and vacations you took thinking it was a real break, only to find out it was a working vacation. Living those experiences over and over is where the trauma starts, and it can lead to depression and anxiety, but also unhealthy eating habits, or just not eating at all, becoming hooked on drugs, and one's life falling apart. So Ryan asks me, how do I stop it? And I respond with the one thing he's been lacking his whole life: control.
Ryan, are you going to keep making YouTube videos, given your interest to be an animator and maybe go behind the camera, like as you get older?
Ryan asks how he can get that control. He still is a minor and can't just walk away, and though he could pull a Jaden Smith and try the emancipation route to legally separate from his parents, he knows that even Jaden didn't follow through on that. So I tell him to start small. 1. Start journaling. Write down his thoughts and feelings. Doing so will help him identify and reclaim his thoughts and feelings. Then use that journal to make a list of what he likes. Don't worry about what the fans or his parents might say, focus on him. And 3rd, I tell him not to Google himself and block out the noise. Avoid videos that are speculating about his life and his parents. They don't know him, and giving them watch time will only harm him. Only he knows the truth, and if anything comes out in counseling that confirms any of the rumors, then we work together to put an end to it. Counseling is a process, so we won't be conquering all his issues in one session. But as with any client, the goal of counseling is not for me to fix their problems, but to empower them to fix themselves and their lives. Remember, no matter how much money someone has or how many followers they got, an influencer is still a human being with their own struggles. They're not machines, they're all just like us. But what do you think? How would you handle the life of Ryan as we've seen today? Let's see it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and do the YouTube thing. But let's say you want to know more about the world of fame. Did you know there's someone that ties Michael Jackson, Diana Ross, and Stevie Wonder together? Click here to discover the answer. See you there. Guidance Guy out.